Dr. C here. So Dr. C is on part C. All right, so this part we're gonna look at dissolving insoluble solids. One thing to note that we discovered after we sent this out is that there are some changes in the reaction number. So this should be 6, this should be 6, 7, 8, and then 7. All the ones of the rest are fine. We just want to make sure you don't get confused with that. All right, so let's look. So we're gonna look at, so when we say insoluble solids, we're talking about does it dissolve or not dissolve in whatever the solvent is. So let's start. So it says to each of the 3 small test tubes, add 20 drops of our zinc nitrate, okay? So I got some zinc nitrate and I got little baby test tubes, okay? And it said how many? 20? 20 drops. So hopefully 20 drops will fit in here. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, you all got to watch me count to 20. All right, we get to do that 2 more times. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Didn't want to come out. We just need to be close to 20. We don't have to worry about being perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I need more. 18, 19, 20. All right. Put the lid on it. All right, so it said to each of 3 small test tubes add 20 drops of 0.1 molar zinc nitrate. To each test tube add 1 drop of 6 molar NaOH and stir. All right, so 6 molar NaOH, and we're adding 1 drop, 1 solitary drop. All right, I guess I should pick it up. I added 2, but whatever. I'm gonna be consistent and just do 2 in all of them now. All right. So now we want to stir it up and you want to make some observations. So on your data sheet here, it says observations on addition of 1 drop of 6 molar NaOH to your zinc nitrate. So they should all be the same. So I'm gonna try to hold them all. 3 little baby test tubes. Stir it up. So that guy, I'm gonna do 1 more drop. There we go. He doesn't want to cooperate. Let's see. Just add more zinc to him. Oh, there we go. You can see it. So there we go. He just didn't have enough zinc. Probably had too much. So there we go. You can see they're all supposed to be the same. So they're all supposed to be cloudy. All right. So you see that. All right. So now the next part is I'm going to add something different to each one of these guys. So here it says for the 3 test tubes that have the zinc precipitate. That's that white cloudy stuff. So that's why I kind of knew that one wasn't, I needed to adjust it a little bit because they were supposed to all have the precipitate. Now I want to see what happens when I add a little bit of HCl to one, NaOH to one, and NH3 to the other, okay? So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add 6 molar HCl. So 6 molar HCl to the first one. So you can see the white cloudy stuff is starting to go away. So you want to notate that on your data sheet. The more I stir it, the more it'll go away. So you want to make sure you're adding that stuff right here on your data sheet. HCl, what happened when I added the HCl. All right, next, sodium hydroxide. Let me find it. Sodium hydroxide. Let's add that bad boy. See what happens. You see, all my white little precipitate disappeared. Okay? So that was test tube 2 with the NaOH added. So now we're going to do test tube 3, part C right here. We're going to add the ammonium. And so we're adding ammonium hydroxide because when we add it, it will separate into NH3. So it's a way of adding it. All right, so we'll add this guy, see what happens. Let me kind of get it mixed up there. Add a little bit more. This is my test tube that didn't want to cooperate earlier, so. Gotta make sure I get that ammonium down in there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do a little stir rod thing here. So I can make sure it's all getting mixed up. All right, so you can see it all went away. All right, so that's what happened for the first 3 test tubes. I'm just gonna leave my stir stick in there since it's dirty now. All right, so that's this part, 3 test tubes, and then we added something to it. So the next part is that we wanna repeat 1 and 2, but now we wanna use the magnesium nitrate instead. So we'll have 3 test tubes with the magnesium nitrate, and then we're gonna add 3 different things, same thing, add HCl, add NaOH, add NH3, and see what happens to those. All right, so I got 3 more little baby test tubes. I'm gonna add some magnesium nitrate to these. So yet again, we're gonna add in our 20 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, so 20 drops of that guy. Oops, I'm knocking over my other test tubes. All right, 20 drops in this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay. You guys are going to be really good at counting to 20. Last one. Well, that was like 3. Sorry. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I need more. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. All right, cool. All right, so we got the magnesium nitrate in each one of them. And so then it says, just like we did with the zinc, we're supposed to add 6 molar NaOH. So up here at the top of your sheet, we want to see what happens when I add 6 molar NaOH to the magnesium compound versus when I did with the zinc. So let me find the 6 molar. Yep, so 6 molar sodium hydroxide, and I'm going to add 1 drop of this to each one. Maybe this time I'll actually only add 1 drop. Sometimes you just get a little excited. Yeah, there we go. So you should be able to see that cloudiness forming. There we go. Cloudiness in that one. All right. Add 1 drop of this guy in here. And you see the cloudiness forming in that one. It's 3 of the same thing, and then we're gonna do the difference. So we should get 3 of the exact same result. Unless Dr. C like accidentally messed something up, but I think Dr. Zach would have told me. Cloudiness in that one. All right, so that's your observation for number 3 on your data sheet. Okay, so we got the little white cloudy precipitate. So now in the 3 test tubes that contain the precipitate, yes, we did it right. We're gonna add the HCl, the NaOH, and the NH3, just like we did on our zinc. All right, so first test tube, we're gonna add HCl. We're adding HCl, hydrochloric acid. That's our first one. So we add that to the first test tube. Let me get it a good stirring to make sure that it's not just sitting at the top. We want to make sure that it's actually reacting. Let me add just 1 more drop so I can make sure. I'm going to use this other stir rod I have here. All right, there we go. I just had to get it all mixed up. So you can see precipitate is no longer present. All right, I'll leave my stir rod on that guy. All right, next one is, that was the HCl. Next one is the sodium hydroxide. So we want to add in the sodium hydroxide. Some precipitates in there. I add in my sodium hydroxide. And if you notice, it looks like it's even more white and cloudy than it was before. Okay, write that down. So, sodium hydroxide, what happened? Last one, let's add in my NH3. So I got my ammonium hydroxide. Let me add him in. So all we're doing is just pushing equilibriums. And this one we're saying, is it gonna dissolve or not dissolve? Is the whole push of this equilibrium. All right. Get him mixed in there. Let me grab another stir rod out of this drawer here and make sure that he's getting really good and mixed. All right. Add 1 more drop. All right, so here, this one's a little more tricky because it's white and cloudy. It's not necessarily a precipitate. So you want to notate that this is different than having a precipitate form. See how you can see it's kind of floating around in there versus this is just kind of white and milky versus if it were completely gone being like that guy, okay? So you want to write down that this guy's kind of this little milky kind of solution versus the others. All right, so now you have your results for the adding of HCl, NaOH, and NH3. So the rest of this whole sheet down here, the rest of this is to explain and understand what happened. Okay, so you have your reactions over here that we used. So you've got your zinc with hydroxide, your zinc with NH3, and then we talk about a few others. Up here, your zinc hydroxide just dissociating, right? So look at these questions and they refer to the different reactions and think about which way is the equilibrium shifting and why. All right, so that is the end of lab. There's no data analysis. All this lab is to answer these questions, and that's it. So good luck.